When you're up in the wilderness by yourself, hunting, wandering out in the woods with no cell phone, no communication with anybody, it does make you really stop and take in just the stillness of every day, the quiet time that you can have and unwind and not feel the pressures of all the commitments you have every day. It really allows you to recharge. For the last couple years, I've gone 10 miles back into the wilderness for 6 days by myself and hunted elk. I always wanted to have an electrical company, even when I was really into drugs, but I never thought it would actually work out. It was more of like a distant dream than a close reality. Having my own electrical company makes me feel alive. It does give me a lot of satisfaction to plan something, see it come to life, and to have it work efficiently. I can't believe my life has all these things, right? A wife, a kid, we bought a house, started my own company, and 7 years ago I was sleeping in my truck, stealing groceries, shooting heroin. For the longest time, I thought that day would never come where I could just wake up and feel normal. My parents got divorced when I was 9 years old. Both of my parents had addiction problems with drugs and alcohol. Both my sisters and I felt like we were abandoned as kids. So I was constantly searching for a place, I guess, where I would feel like I belonged, or people accepted me, or people wanted me. I got hooked on painkillers when I was a junior in high school. Got injured playing football. Pretty soon I realized that it wasn't fun anymore, that I was stuck, that I was hooked on Oxycontin and I couldn't go a day without it. When I first started using them, nobody ever really told me like, hey, these are addictive and you're gonna come to a point where if you don't take them, you will get sick. I managed to get a job after I graduated high school as an electrician. The whole time just using drugs, painkillers every day, running out of money. Me and my friends decided to start doing heroin, and that took us to a whole nother low. And so over the next 6 years, I would go from using for a year and a half to clean for a couple months to using. I couldn't trust other people because my whole life growing up I didn't establish trust in people because I'd been let down so many times. I came to a rock bottom place in my life when I got kicked out of a clean and sober house. I was stealing groceries, sleeping in my car, had no money, got fired from my job. I carried so much burden of all the disappointment and lies and stealing. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have any money, of course, and my parents weren't going to spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for me to go to inpatient. This place that I went to in Portland, you work for your stay. It was a really hard commitment. As crazy as it sounds, you could take somebody that has had a heroin addiction for 5 or 6 years, has nothing going for them, and they could convince themselves that they cannot give up a year of their life to get help. When I was at the treatment facility, there were countless times where I wanted to leave. It took me about 3 or 4 months before I was finally able to submit and surrender and be like, you know what, I'm supposed to be here. This is exactly where I need to be right now in my life. There's no better place for me. And I'm really glad that I stuck around and completed the program because it's something that changed my life. Without a welcoming community after I graduated the program, staying clean and sober would have been really difficult. It took a long time before I started having confidence in myself and realizing that these people actually want me around, they like me, they think I'm fun. And so along this journey, I would say I have learned that there's always areas to grow from, but there's always areas that you've conquered. Then it's also a lot more beneficial to me to see, like, look at how far you've come. I am proud of who I am today, and that I'm a good dad and a good husband and a good boss to people. I get the most joy and happiness when I get to do fun things with Paxton, whether it's we go outside and me and him get to spend just one-on-one time, and it's digging in for worms in the dirt, or I taking him fishing when he says, I want to be just like Dada. And it brings me a lot of satisfaction in life that he can look to me and as a role model, as somebody to look up to. I was addicted to heroin 8 years ago, but today I'm a business owner and a father and a husband and a good friend.